Good evening and welcome to the Gothic Bohemian Salon. Tonight I wanted to talk about a new book by Dita von Teese called Your Beauty Mark, and a new lipstick also by Dita von Teese called Von Teese by MAC. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about was this book, Your Beauty Mark by Dita von Teese and Rose Apodaca, or Apodaca possibly. Wonderful book. I, as you know, am a fan of Miss von Teese and her work, and I've been waiting for this book along with probably a lot of other people for a couple of years now, and I'm so excited that it's finally out. It's a beautiful, huge coffee table book. It's got extensive step-by-step instructions and pictures of how Dita does her own look. But the great thing about these instructions are that they can be applied to almost any type of look, really. And the great thing is that Dita talks about and features a kind of eccentric glamour that is sort of timeless and individual, that I'm sure that we can all relate to, those of us who enjoy expressing ourselves in this way. And the message of the book is that you can achieve this kind of glamour quite cheaply, easily, and really express yourself in a way that is very satisfying to the soul in a lot of ways. A couple things that I wanted to mention. The first thing, the first words of the book are, "Is she for real?" And I thought that this was very interesting because it's something that people have very odd reactions to people who choose to express themselves sartorially and with their own look. And it's interesting that people feel somehow personally challenged by other people who've decided to create a persona or express themselves in this way. They don't realize that that we do this for ourselves. We don't do it for anybody else. We don't do it to make other people feel bad or to make them feel good or to make them feel anything. We don't do it for them at all. We do it for ourselves. It's how we feel the most comfortable and the most like ourselves. And we're not doing it to hide who we really are or express something that isn't real or anything like that. We are, it's interesting. I used to think of beauty as kind of a mythological, ancient mask that we were expressing different sort of archetypal ideas with our faces in a way. I had a fashion show many years ago, and several of the women had very interesting ways of drawing their lip shapes, and I realized that I needed to let them do their own lip shapes and not try to impose something on them, because there was something very potent and powerful in how they'd chosen to draw their lips on. It was almost like they were wearing a mask, but a mask as it was used in ancient times, as kind of a template for a god or goddess like persona to come through. And makeup used to be used as something to enhance oneself, to present oneself to the gods, and it's sort of interesting to think of it that way. Nowadays it's kind of like you have an opportunity to put your best self forward, and why not take it? So how I look is not a commentary on how you look is another thing that I think is important to keep in mind. I'm not judging anyone else by looking the way that I look. I don't expect other people to look the same way that I do, or to go to the kind of, effort that I do, or to put as much emphasis on it, or any of those things. It's really up to, the individual. If they're into that, then they're into that, and if they're not, they're not. So, but a lot of people mistake a person who expresses themselves this way as somebody who has some kind of personal flaw that they're trying to overcome, or something strange like that. And this book really puts that into a context that's wonderful in emphasizing that it's really quite easy to take whatever God has given you. As a great example, one of Dita's friends, Ali Madavi, lost all of his body hair when he was quite young, and he's learned to work around that loss and kind of incorporate it into the way that he looks, and make it a part of his beauty, rather than trying to hide it in some way or disguise it, or something like that. He has kind of I'd say glamorized it in a way, which is kind of interesting. So it's kind of like being in a wheelchair and still dressing up. I don't want to just kind of give up just because I'm in a wheelchair. I'm not gonna not take the time, because you have the time. You can do a lovely look in 5 minutes if you practice enough and kind of what you're doing, and this book gives you the tools to do that. A couple things I wanted to mention that were mentioned in the book is one of my favorite stores in San Francisco is called Bellocchio, and they make something called mouche, a little packet of mouches. I used to have one of the packets. I couldn't find it, but I did find this little box that you can order of mouches. They are little velvet. I'm going to try to see if I can show you. I don't know how easy this is going to be, but they're little cut out pieces of velvet, hearts and stars, and there's even things like a candle with a flame, clubs, diamonds. The ones from Bellocchio come with a little a piece of paper that tells you the meaning of where you put the different mouches, because in the 17th century they devised, or the 16th century, they devised various meanings. So if you put one here, it meant something. If you put one here, it meant something. Your nose, it meant something else. Like flirtatious or seductive, or stuff like that. It's just kind of fun to know what the meanings are. Anyway, she mentions that you can actually still order online at Bellocchio the mouches, and she mentioned somebody else who makes them, and actually I used to make packets of mouches as well, with different themes to them. Like there was a Valentine's theme that had cupids, little red cupids that you could put on, and hearts, and stuff like that. I was working on a French Revolution one, and yeah. Anyway, so that was kind of neat. There were a couple of things she mentioned that she said were things you should not do, and these kind of surprised me, because the whole idea of the book is that there really is no right way, in a way. And one thing she mentioned is a nude lip, and I have to disagree. I don't personally go in for a nude lip much, but I do think that if you look, for example, at Daphne Guinness, you'll see that a nude lip, when done elegantly and with some other makeup that's really beautiful, can be quite wonderful, and Daphne's certainly able to do that. She doesn't mention Daphne Guinness. I don't know if she knows about her, but I think she's somebody that she could appreciate her sense of style. The other thing she talked about was dyeing your eyebrows, and I thought it was kind of amusing, because she says that you should go to a professional, and then right after that she explains in the book how to dye her own eyebrows, and that she does it herself, and I thought that was kind of amusing. She mentions Just for Men, the men's beard and sideburns dye that you can get, which is great for dyeing eyebrows because you can mix just a small amount of it. But I just thought it was kind of funny that she does have a few don'ts, and you know, in a book where she's talking about eccentric glamour and how anything goes, you know, to have don'ts is kind of interesting. But overall, the book is great, and I really do recommend it. Don't overpay. Find it on Amazon for you know, a good discount, and I bet if you do a little digging, you could probably find it for as much as half off. So I do recommend that you do that. Now onto the lipstick. So this is called Teese, and it is from MAC. Beautiful packaging, really, really gorgeous. The tube is a nice shiny black, and it has Dita's signature on it. And then the lipstick itself has Dita's signature sort of incised into it, which is kind of neat. Has that wonderful MAC vanilla rose kind of scent, and I've been wearing it all day. I did a liner first with Charlotte Tilbury's Savage Rose, which is this this kind of deep red color, and I filled in the entire lip, and then over did it with the Teese, and I found that that was a little bit better for me because it is a really bright red. Kind of reminds me a little bit of this Charlotte Tilbury Red Carpet Red, which is in her matte collection, which just came out recently. A little pricey, but comes in this beautiful tube, rose gold tube, and it's just lovely to carry around with you. $32. Dita's lipstick is $18, which is great. You'll see it on eBay for as much as $40. You don't need to do that. Please don't do that, in fact. Just order it from the MAC website, or I think you could probably get it at a MAC retail outlet. So I just wanted to tell you about those two wonderful things that have come out this December 2015. Hopefully they'll both be available for a while, and I don't know if this is an oasis in a desert or if I'll be back with more videos, but I did want to thank everybody who has left messages in the last year inquiring about my health and hoping that I'll be getting better and stuff like that. I really have no idea whether I'll be getting better or not, so I'm trying to learn to live with my illness the way that it is, and I'm still figuring out how to do that. So until I kind of do, I'm slowly making my way back to the world, and in the meantime I'm going to try to put this up without a lot of editing, and I hope that you enjoy it. I really have appreciated so much the new subscribers, and that people have kind of stuck with me even though I haven't really been around. So thank you so much again, and just remember to embrace the darkness. Good night.